Hi, I'm Margaux Merceron. I'm International Program Manager at Wenabi, and I accompany companies to deploy and launch their engagement program at international level. And today we are going to talk about local and global governance. Governance could be a concept that is really frightening people, but don't worry, my role at Wenabi is really to support you and accompany you to build all this strategy in terms of local and global governance. So to build a proper local and global governance, first of all, you need a global team that leads. When you want to launch a engagement program at an international level with several countries, from time to time, companies choose 2 or 3 countries with program manager that can join the global team so that your team is representative of the scope of the engagement program, and it's transnational. It gives more insight on how you can adapt your program at local specificities. So the main role of the global team, and my colleague Margaux give you some insight on the previous video, but it's really to have a common framework so that you can have guidance and you can lead all the engagement policy for all the countries that will join the program. But first of all, what you need to do as a global team is really to give a unified vision of this engagement program. And the second thing is that you will also monitor at a global level your program. So you will have an overview of your program and give some objectives, as Margaux tell you, of impact, for example. The third one is also to have a coherent communication, and Lucy will talk more about that, but really have federating moments with a global roadmap that rhythm your year during the engagement program animation all over the year and at international level. And finally, it really gives you all your business units a sense of belonging, because you're the pilots in the plane, okay? So you have to give some great milestones and objective of your program. And finally, I think at least is the most important, you gather the global community of the engaged collaborators and volunteers. On top of that, you really need to build a local network, to have a local teams who drives the program locally. In fact, we know, we are completely aware that building a network of local leads to manage the program locally and so on can be difficult, because from time to time in the companies, local teams are smaller, and so they have multiple hats. There can be communication, HR, CSR at the same time. So we have to be sharp and to be very consistent in what we give them. The goal is to give your local leads every ready-to-use resources and tools so that they can deploy easily and very quickly the program at their local level. The goal is also that all those ready-to-use tools and guidelines will be adapted to their local specificities. So the main advantage to build a network of local leads is, of course, to let them deploy it locally and respect their local specificities, because they know much better than us, and also then the global team, their local context and stakeholders. The second one is also that they will develop their own local network of partnership. We will help them, but they know all the stakeholders at a local level. And finally, it will allow them to have direct communication with all the stakeholders and makes flexibility, organize events are at their local image. And finally, what you really need is the support of our amazing Wenabi team. In fact, as I was saying, global team is very important, and usually it's our primary contact. I'm daily or monthly in contact with them, but we need also to be in contact with the local team, because they won't be alone on this project. And so for that, we have 2 specific moments to animate this community of local leads. The first one is when we launch the program at a local level. We use the wave development method. It allows us to deploy a small group of countries at the same time, and it's helping us to get to know more about the country, the local specificity, what kind of legal framework they have, and how we can adapt the tool to their context. And when it's launched at a local level, we organize what we call open sessions. So usually we invite all the local leaders at those open sessions. It's usually 3 times a year or 4 times depending on your needs. And so usually during those open sessions, we bring some news from Wenabi, what's new on the platform, the new feature, but it's also a moment where we gather all the community of the local leader, and so they can share best practice. They can give tips to a country and another, and so they really take the leads on this session to share what they have done, and it's really encouraging the other countries to keep going on the animation of their program. And so one of my favorite moments, and this is what we tend to do with all the country that we are deploying at Wenabi with our customer, is like to give the floor during this open session to 2 or 3 countries so that they can just give us some insight on what they have done during the semester, what works and what doesn't, what can be improved. And so I think it really gives all the country insight that can be interesting and that they can also adapt locally to their own context. And those moments are really enriching because it values all the work of the local leads, because actually from time to time they are also volunteer to manage the program locally. So I think it's very important to encourage them and give them the floor. And also it's a moment of transparency, because we just share what was well and what has to be improved. And so I think it's very enriching for everyone, like the global team, Wenabi, and also the global leads. Thank you for watching. I'm Margaux Merceron from Wenabi, and I'm looking forward to discuss this topic with you.